What you're about to witness will shake the very foundation of everything you thought you knew about loyalty, betrayal, and the price of redemption. Tonight, at Elimination Chamber 2026, a secret that's been eating away at the WWE Universe for months is about to explode in the most violent, devastating way possible. And I'm telling you right now, when that mask comes off, when the truth finally screams into the light, nothing will ever be the same again. This is SLAMZONE, and you're about to experience something that'll make your heart race and your jaw hit the floor. Now before we dive into this absolute carnage, I need you to do something for me. If you're feeling what I'm feeling right now, if that electricity is running through your veins the same way it's running through mine, hit that subscribe button. Join the SLAMZONE family because we're building something special here, something real. We're not just watching wrestling, we're living it together. Every breakdown, every analysis, every moment of pure emotion, we share it as one. So smash the like button, turn on those notifications, and let's ride this wave together because you don't want to miss a single second of what's coming. Trust me on this. The arena is absolutely electric tonight. You can feel it through the screen, can't you? That tension, that anticipation hanging in the air like a storm about to break. The Elimination Chamber has always been the devil's playground, where careers are made and broken inside 6 tons of unforgiving steel. But tonight? Tonight it's different. There's been a masked figure lurking in the shadows for weeks, attacking superstars, causing chaos, disrupting matches. Nobody knows who it is. Nobody can predict when they'll strike next. The entire locker room is on edge, looking over their shoulders, wondering if they're next. And the rumors have been spreading like wildfire. Is it a returning legend? A disgruntled superstar seeking revenge? Someone from NXT ready to make the most explosive debut in history? The speculation has been driving the WWE Universe absolutely insane. Social media is buzzing, forums are exploding with theories, and everyone has an opinion. But here's what we know for certain: whoever this masked man is, they've been calculated, methodical, picking their targets with surgical precision. Every attack has meant something. Every assault has sent a message. And tonight, backstage at Elimination Chamber 2026, that message is about to be delivered in the most brutal way imaginable. The camera cuts backstage, and you can see the production crew scattered around, officials huddled together, whispering nervously. There's this palpable sense of dread, like everyone knows something massive is about to go down, but nobody wants to be the one standing in the blast radius when it happens. The hallway is dimly lit, shadows dancing across the concrete walls, and you can hear footsteps echoing in the distance. Then it starts. A commotion erupts from one of the equipment areas. Shouting, crashing, the unmistakable sound of bodies hitting steel. The camera crew rushes toward the chaos, and what we see next is absolute mayhem. Equipment cases are scattered everywhere, chairs overturned, coffee spilling across the floor. And in the center of it all, the masked man is standing over a fallen superstar, his chest heaving with rage, that haunting mask covering his identity. But wait, there's more movement. Security is rushing in from every direction, trying to contain the situation, but the masked man isn't running. He's not trying to escape. No, he's standing his ground, and that's when you realize something terrifying: he wants to be caught. He wants this moment. This is what he's been building toward all along. The officials are screaming, trying to restore order, but the masked man slowly, deliberately reaches up to his face. The entire WWE Universe holds its breath. Millions of people around the world lean closer to their screens. This is it. The moment of truth. Fingers grip the edge of the mask, and with one swift motion, he tears it away. Seth. Rollins. The building erupts. The backstage area explodes into chaos. Seth freaking Rollins. The visionary. The revolutionary. The man who's been at the heart of WWE for over a decade, who's given everything to this company, who's bled for these fans. But the look on his face right now isn't the confident smirk we're used to seeing. It's something darker, something broken, something that speaks of pain and betrayal running so deep it's transformed him into something unrecognizable. And before anyone can process what's happening, before the shock can even settle in, Seth is attacked. Not by one person, not by two, but by a mob of furious superstars who've been victims of his masked rampage. They're coming from everywhere, seeking retribution, seeking justice, seeking blood. And Seth? Seth doesn't try to defend himself. He doesn't fight back with the technical precision we know he's capable of. He just takes it. Every punch, every kick, every brutal shot. It's like he wants to feel the pain, like he deserves it, like this is part of some twisted penance he's been seeking all along. The attack is relentless. They drive him into the concrete wall, and you can hear the sickening thud as his body connects with the unforgiving surface. Forearms rain down on him, boots stomp at his ribs, and through it all, Seth's face shows something between agony and relief. Like he's finally getting what he's been asking for. Like this destruction is somehow cleansing him. Officials are trying desperately to pull the attackers away, but they keep coming back for more. You can see the raw emotion, the genuine anger these superstars feel. Seth Rollins, their brother, their colleague, someone they trusted, has been the source of their torment for months. And now they're making him pay. One superstar grabs a steel chair. No, not like this. But before anyone can stop it, the chair comes crashing down across Seth's back with a metallic crack that echoes through the hallway. Seth crumbles to the floor, his body convulsing from the impact. The camera zooms in on his face, and you can see it now, the full extent of his emotional devastation. Tears mixing with blood, his eyes showing not fear but something deeper, something that speaks to a man who's lost everything and doesn't know how to find his way back. Another attacker launches himself at Seth, driving him through a table stacked with production equipment. The crash is deafening. Splinters fly everywhere. Electronic equipment sparks and sizzles. And Seth lies in the wreckage, barely moving, his chest rising and falling with labored breaths. But here's what's killing me about this moment, what's absolutely tearing at my heart as I watch this unfold. You can see in Seth's eyes that he knew this was coming. He orchestrated his own destruction. Every masked attack, every calculated assault, it was all leading to this moment where he'd be revealed and face the consequences. But why? What drove Seth Rollins, one of the greatest performers of this generation, to this dark place? The camera captures glimpses of his attackers' faces as security finally manages to pull them away, and you can see it's not just anger anymore. Some of them look confused, hurt, betrayed, because this is Seth Rollins. This is the man who main event WrestleMania, who held championships, who inspired a generation of wrestlers. And now he's lying broken in a pile of debris, bleeding and beaten, a shell of the warrior we once knew. More officials arrive with medical personnel, trying to assess the damage, but Seth waves them off weakly. Even now, even in this state, he's refusing help. He's pushing away the very people trying to save him. And that tells you everything you need to know about where his head is at. This isn't just about physical destruction. This is a man destroying himself from the inside out. They try to get him to his feet, but his legs won't support him. He collapses back down, and you can hear him saying something, but it's too quiet to make out. One of the officials leans in closer, and whatever Seth says causes the official's face to go pale. What could he possibly be saying in this moment? What confession is spilling from his lips? The beating has left visible damage. His face is swelling, blood trickling from his hairline, his ring gear torn and tattered. Every breath looks painful. His ribs are probably broken. Maybe worse. But it's his eyes that haunt you. They're distant, hollow, like the lights are on but nobody's home. Like Seth Rollins as we knew him died somewhere along this journey, and what's left is just wreckage trying to understand why it still exists. And if you're feeling this intensity, if your heart is pounding right now wondering what happens next, do me a favor. Pause right here and hit that like button. Share this video with everyone you know who loves wrestling, who understands that this isn't just entertainment, it's art, it's storytelling at its absolute finest. Comment below and let me know what you think drove Seth to this point. Join the SLAMZONE family by subscribing because we break down these moments together, we analyze every detail, and we keep the conversation going long after the cameras stop rolling. This is where wrestling fans become wrestling family. Security has finally cleared the area, forming a barrier around Seth's broken body. The camera pulls back to give us a wider shot, and the destruction is evident. The backstage area looks like a war zone. Broken equipment, overturned furniture, blood stains on the concrete. This isn't how championship celebrations happen. This isn't how Hall of Fame careers are supposed to look. This is the tragic fall of a man who lost himself somewhere between greatness and obsession. EMTs are now surrounding Seth, checking his vitals, preparing a stretcher. But even as they work, you can see superstars lingering in the background, watching, some with satisfaction, others with something that looks like regret or even sadness. Because for all the pain Seth caused, for all the chaos he created, he's still one of them. He's still a brother who bled in the same rings, traveled the same roads, chased the same dreams. One particular shot captures a superstar in the background with his head in his hands, and you wonder if that's someone who once tagged with Seth, who once trusted him, who once called him friend. The emotional layers of this moment are staggering. This isn't black and white. This isn't hero versus villain. This is complicated, messy, real human emotion playing out in the most brutal setting imaginable. The stretcher is wheeled in, and they're preparing to lift Seth onto it. His body is limp, offering no resistance. As they move him, his head lolls to the side, and for a brief moment, his eyes lock with the camera. And in that glance, you see everything. Regret, pain, defiance, resignation. It's the look of a man who's walked to the edge of the abyss and jumped, not knowing if there's anything at the bottom to catch him. But wait. Just as they're about to wheel him away, Seth's hand shoots out, grabbing the arm of one of the officials. Everyone freezes. What's happening? Seth is trying to say something, forcing words through damaged lips. The official leans down, and we can just barely make out the words, "I'm not done." Those 3 words send chills down your spine. After everything that just happened, after the revelation, after the beating, after lying broken and bleeding on the concrete floor, Seth Rollins is saying he's not done? What could that possibly mean? Is this defiance? Is this delusion? Is this the promise of even more chaos to come? The officials exchange worried glances. The EMTs look unsure whether to proceed. And Seth, with tremendous effort, tries to sit up. His body screams in protest, his face contorting with pain, but there's something in his eyes now that wasn't there before. A spark. A dangerous, unhinged spark that suggests the story is far from over. Someone from off-camera yells to just get him to medical, and finally, they will Seth away. The camera follows the stretcher down the hallway, and you can see the trail of destruction they're leaving behind. Blood droplets on the floor. Broken equipment still sparking. And superstars standing in doorways, watching silently as Seth Rollins is carried away from the carnage he created. The scene fades, but the impact lingers. Seth Rollins, the visionary, the architect, the revolutionary, reduced to a broken man on a stretcher, wheeled through the same hallways where he once walked as a champion. How do you come back from this? How does anyone recover from orchestrating their own destruction? And more importantly, why would someone do this to themselves? This is what SLAMZONE is all about. We don't just recap what happened. We dig deeper. We feel it. We understand that wrestling, at its core, is about human stories played out on the grandest stage. Seth Rollins didn't need to be the masked man. He could have walked away. He could have taken time off. He could have asked for help. But instead, he chose violence. He chose chaos. He chose to make everyone, including himself, suffer. And that's what makes this so powerful, so devastating, so absolutely brilliant in its brutality. This isn't just a swerve for shock value. This is a character study of a man breaking under pressure we can't fully understand. The weight of expectations, the burden of being called the guy, the pressure to constantly reinvent himself, to stay relevant, to prove his worth night after night. At some point, something inside Seth Rollins cracked, and instead of reaching out, he lashed out. At others. And ultimately, at himself. The psychological depth here is staggering. Seth could have revealed himself in the ring, in front of millions, taken a microphone and explained his actions. But he chose the backstage area, the concrete and steel, the unglamorous reality behind the curtain. He chose to unmask himself surrounded by his peers, knowing full well what would happen next. He wanted them to hurt him. He needed that physical pain to match whatever internal anguish has been consuming him. Before we get to the final thoughts here, I need you to do something. If this story has moved you, if you're invested in what happens next to Seth Rollins, if you want to be part of the community that discusses these moments and keeps the passion for wrestling alive, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on all notifications because SLAMZONE drops content that matters, content that respects your intelligence and your emotional investment in this art form. Like this video, share it across every platform, comment your theories and feelings below. We're building something special here, and you're part of it. You're not just a viewer. You're family. And family shows up for each other. Elimination Chamber 2026 will be remembered for many things, but nothing will overshadow this moment. The night Seth Rollins tore off his mask and let the world see his pain. The night the visionary lost his vision and found only darkness. The night one of WWE's greatest performers orchestrated his own violent downfall in the unforgiving backstage battleground. What happens next? Does Seth disappear, taking time to heal physically and mentally? Does he return more dangerous than ever, having survived his own destruction? Or was this truly the end of Seth Rollins as we know him, the final chapter of a tragic transformation from hero to villain to victim? The WWE Universe will debate this for months, maybe years. But one thing is certain: Seth Rollins changed tonight. Whether it's for better or worse remains to be seen, but that image of him lying broken in the wreckage, blood mixing with tears, eyes distant yet somehow still burning with unfinished business, that's an image that'll haunt us all. This is what makes wrestling beautiful and brutal in equal measure. Real emotions, real consequences, real human beings pushing themselves to the absolute limit and sometimes beyond. Seth Rollins went beyond tonight, and we witnessed every devastating second of it. This is SLAMZONE, where we don't just watch wrestling, we feel it in our bones. Thank you for being here, for being part of this journey, for understanding that moments like these are why we keep coming back week after week. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, drop a comment sharing your thoughts on Seth's actions, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue analyzing the fallout from this absolute chaos. Stay strong, stay passionate, and remember, in the world of professional wrestling, nothing is ever truly finished. The mask is off. The truth is revealed. But the story? The story is just beginning.